things actually behind it. I think social media is of course like maybe the most important thing, because it kind of made it possible to reach other people, to reach the masses, and also like it made the communications like two ways, to go two ways. Like so before the officials could say like, no, you can't do it, and then you're like, okay, but suddenly you could actually like start a kind of social media storm, and they have to kind of like maybe like with this something like what is that? No. I mean like well anyway. the surfing boards, like they were like
stand-up paddling.
Yeah, and then they had to change like the decision because there was like so many people complaining about it. So I think this is one big thing, and kind of the city started to change also partly because of this, because there was like such a pressure coming from outside. But then we at the same time we had like really good city officials like Pekka Saaro, which was the former vice mayor. He was like really important for this change, and often I was just tagging him in Facebook, like, could you help me?
So maybe a kind of a snowball effect in terms of city council.
Exactly, and like I say, like in 2012 when we were still starting, the city was kind of still against this kind of stuff. It was something that was disturbing and like causing extra work. But then suddenly, or slowly it started to kind of change, and then they started to support it. And for example, when we closed Hämeentie for Kallio Block Party in 2015, and the city just replied like, okay, we will make it. And we were like, what? I would say like 2 years earlier it would have never been possible. So it kind of, and also like, when you see that it works, like these people organize their stuff and still everything is fine. So the examples are really important, but like to kind of like I say, like, often you have to bend the rules a bit in the beginning because you won't get the permission to do it in the first place. Of course, and the example is really important. When people see other people doing something, they start to do it also. And this is also like kind of this Helsinki spirit that you can do something yourself. And of course, there's at the same time there's like this economical crisis that people are maybe like a bit bored. Okay, let's do something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Might be a big thing as well.
Yeah. And like all these things kind of happening at the same time, there was like really strong movement born out of this. So I think these are the reasons.
Yeah.
No hands, really. We will email you. One of my thoughts were, like, well, what do you think about intuition and courage, especially kind of when kind of looking as an outsider? You actually feels like intuition plays a big role. Like you said, you were walking the city and suddenly you see something and then you decide to act on it. So what do you do when, if you have the feeling that you're unsure? You already said you're asking the questions. But is it something like, how's your childhood? Like, have you always been doing stuff? Or is there something that kind of, or can you get a grip of kind of where did you come from? Is it something you learned already from young age?
No, I mean my parents are always like saying, could you just stop doing this stuff? Like my mother just sent me a message like, oh, there's a nice job up. Okay, I thought you were already over with it. I don't know. I think it's also like you kind of get hooked to it. Like when I said, like, it was not planned that I will start to do something like that. But then I did something. I did a bit more, and then like, oh, I want to do something more. And like there was like this feeling that I have to do it. Like I remember like with this home theater festival, and I was like, I really have to do it. And then I did it twice, and then I didn't feel like anymore. I don't have to do it anymore, like because it was already done a few times. And it was funny, I was telling to my friend, oh, I'm so excited about this project, the Home Theatre Festival, it's so great. And like she was like, you say it about every project you are doing. And I think that's also because I really kind of want to make the change happen, and this is kind of the driving force. And I mean, I don't know, it's a good question. I think it's also like, I'm not worrying too much, just like what will happen, and just like start doing it. Also like, often people like to talk, and but like I usually also like, okay, let's start. Like let's call this guy. Like we just got this idea 5 minutes ago. Let's call this guy and start doing it. Like this is also like something. I don't know. I I don't know where it comes from. But of course, like yeah, the more you're doing, the more confident you are also doing it.
When you organize nowadays, where does the line start or end when you organize and where it's self-organized? Because I guess you're setting up some sort of infrastructure for it to then take over, right? So,
yeah, well, it depends. Like usually, actually, the core group is really small. It's like 1 to 3 persons actually in most of these events. Yeah, I mean, like, and some of the events are like they need more like organizing, like this living room exhibition, which is actually quite a lot of stuff to do because you have to also put the art of 40 artists somewhere, so it's kind of really a lot of manual work also. But like in this Alex Kive kind of gig, like in the beginning I was like posting a lot about it, and then like kind of the social media active people came there. But then it just took a lot of time. This summer I have posted maybe a few times because it's so full that I don't have to do it anymore. So, but like in the beginning, it is like a lot of work is needed. And then, like for example, I'm not anymore part of the Cleaning Day, so other people are, the other founders of it are still running it. Also, I'm not organizing any more dinner under the Helsinki sky and so on. So, I kind of also. I had also the feeling I don't have to do this anymore. It's running already. I prefer doing something new. But yeah, it's actually good to think about the kind of the exit plan always, because it is always often the problem that if it's not like independent enough, it won't run. But like for example, Helsinki Sauna Day, it's only me actually running it. So and I'm not doing that much. Just like social media, people are doing everything in it. So and there has been actually also other sauna days, so it's already kind of growing movement, and yeah, I don't know.
I guess my question was also about, it must be quite important to set the boundaries so it doesn't kind of get out of...
Oh, yeah, that is a good thing I didn't say about it. Like, yeah, it's really important to kind of have some kind of limitations, because if it's too open, people won't take part because they're like, what should I do? What is this all about? And like you kind of have to make it clear enough, but like not make any unnecessary restrictions. Like
let's do anything. You can do anything there.
Yeah. Look, you can do anything, and no one will do anything. And I actually like once we organized, or I was part of one event called like Art All Over, which was like the idea was to do with art a lot of stuff. But the problem was that there was like a really big changing organization, and no one actually know what we are doing. Like in the end, like everyone has different opinions what we are doing. So even the people who were organizing didn't know what to do. Like how should the people know? So basically, all these concepts, also even the names, are really simple. So you kind of get the idea. What will happen? What should I do? And also. Also, they're like really simple concepts. Like in 2-3 sentences, you can explain what it's all about, and then you know, okay, should I take part or not? And like every time when someone's calling me and asking like advice, and I'm like, oh, I failed. Like someone had to call me. It shouldn't be like this. It should be so clear that no one has to ask any questions. Just take part. Because this is also like when people are taking part, if they have any questions about it, then they kind of easily like, okay, I won't do it. It's too difficult.
I see people are leaving for work already.
I was just wondering, because you had so many interesting different projects, and you said you had even more you had to take out of your presentations. I'm just wondering, and maybe there isn't, I'm just curious if there's any of the projects that are like closer to your heart, where you really felt, okay, this was something very powerful or something that stands out to you.
Well, I think it's like my friends say that it's I'm always excited about the new thing, and well. There are like some events, like once we organized Parking Day, which was kind of actually ordered from us, so they wanted to do us to do something about carless living or something, and then we organized Parking Day, and it was kind of okay, but like it was ordered, and that was the problem there. Like also actually this free city of Kalasatama, it was funded by a mall already next to it. And I proposed this idea then last winter, and thought they will never accept it. But I just wanted to make I didn't want to make any compromises with that. And I said like, I'll do it like this or not at all. And then they accepted it, and that's why it was also great. But if I would have made too many compromises, then it wouldn't be like that. So I think that's the thing. But like, yeah, it's really hard to say which one, because I'm always like, when you start something new, it's so exciting. And I think that's of course the best thing.
Last question.
How you have seen this creating new movements evolve over the time? Are they somehow getting bigger or better, or any better in which way?
We created.
How you see these movements improve somehow?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I think they're getting a bit more local now. I think like we had this like kind of. We had the restaurant day, we had cleaning day, Kallio Block Party getting really huge. I think they're kind of now getting a bit more local. They are like this Alexis Kivenka's flea market. Then there are like a lot of like kind of more local flea markets. People have started to organize themselves something in their area. Also, like there are like different block parties. There's one in Tikkula, there's one in Herttoniemi, and so on. So I think it's kind of getting more local. So and also partly because like the social media is changing also. So it's quite interesting to see, and also kind of semi-closed communities. I would say like they are like more like a big groups of friends, or like people you know. So they are not that many maybe like kind of really huge open for everyone events coming anymore. And like actually, if you think about it, there haven't been like during the last year anything like that big. Also, I was interested. It was interesting to see that in Kalastama Vapaakaupunki, there were actually almost no one organizing events that was under 30. So it was kind of these people who were like active already in early 2010. They were kind of the ones who were organizing stuff there. So and there were actually quite a lot of children and dogs and so on. So it's kind of interesting to see that. They kind of got this idea like right away, like what is it all about? But and I think it's also partly because like younger people are leaving Facebook, so which has been for me, of course, the main media and way to reach people. So I think this is like social media is changing, and I think also partly because of this, also the events are changing. So to more local, and at the same time, of course, because people kind of. They are empowered, they feel that they can do something themselves, they don't need anymore this big structure. I remember when we organized the cleaning day for the first time, then some people asked like, I would like to take part in it, what should I do? Like, take your stuff and go to the streets. Like, oh, well, thanks. Like, it was, at that time, it was still something that it was hard to imagine for people to take part, like, just like, it's that easy. But when you have taken part a few times, like, why actually we should go there? We can do it in our neighborhood. So I think that is also one reason for that.
The benefit of being a host is that you can always have the last question. I was thinking about kind of the meaning of the right people, like, because how important it is to get the support and to get like, what do you think about this? Like how do you find the right people? I remember also studying 21 instead of one of my kind of main struggles, but then kind of what I noticed was when just putting out the word and talking about my dreams, it started to resonate with other people.
Exactly, I think that speaking out loud is really important. I have one project is, for example, stories from the refugee center, like a reception center. When a lot of refugees were coming, I thought I want to like collect the stories of these people, which are not told in any media, and I posted about it. And again, like there were like tens of people who wanted to do it with me, like go to this reception center and take photos, collect the stories, and so on. And again, it was kind of born out of the need. But yeah, in the beginning it was really hard because I didn't know that many people. I actually tried to do different kind of project with different kind of people, and they all end up not so good because like people like to talk, not that much do something. And then I started to find some more people, and people started to contact me, and then often it's just like helps when you say your idea aloud. Okay, I have this idea. I have no idea how to do it, but I would like to do it. Who would like to join? And this helped a lot. Like through that, I have found a lot of people, and now I kind of have also like this kind of core group, like graphic designer and guys who are making the web pages and so on, who are kind of always with me in all this project. So now it's really easy. I know like what is kind of needed, but like in the beginning it was much more like work and like questions like how should I do it, like who should help me and so on.
Yeah, the beginnings are always difficult.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and let's give a big hand here.